Number 1, what is the best way to look for a job?
The best way to look for a job just to surf the net and look for a job there on some sites.
Number 2, how do you apply for a job?
I have never applied for any job because my employer found me themselves, and I think I think that's all.
Number 3, which websites do you use to search for a job?
I don't use any sites to search for a job, but I know that there is a good site, Headhunter, where you can find a job.
Number 4, when is the best time to look for a job?
So the best time to look for a job is after you graduate the university or some college.
Number 5, when was the last time you were offered a job?
I was offered a job about 10 years ago, so it was the last time.
Number 6, what is the next step after having a job interview?
So after having a job interview, if you're good enough for this job, you're hired and you are offered a job. You may take an offer or may refuse it.
Number 7, what is the most amount of people you were interviewed by?
I was interviewed by one person, by just one person.
Number 8, why do you think it is difficult to be hired at some companies?
It's very difficult to be hired in some good companies because not everybody had the right skills and the right educational level.
Number 9, what types of jobs require candidates to be recruited?
So there are some types of jobs that require candidates to be recruited. Engineer, yeah, among them engineers, some head of the departments, and some teachers and doctors.
Number 10, do you think it is easier to land a job or lose a job?
It's the same, I think. It's as easier to land a job as it's not as easy to land a job as to lose it. No, it's very easy to lose a job than to land it because you can easily lose a job doing something wrong, but it's very difficult to land a job.
Number 11, how do you feel when you get a job?
When I get a job, I feel very excited.
Number 12, why is it not advisable to work 24/7?
Nobody should work 24/7 because it's very stressful and you can burn out. You may burn out and you may be sleep deprived, and it can cause some health issues.
Number 13, you do know that works 9 to 5.
My father worked 8 to 5, and I don't know anybody who works 9 to 5.
Number 14, who do you know that works as a teacher?
My sister works as a teacher.
Number 15, what was the last place you worked at?
The last place I worked at a small company, and I worked as a coordinator there, and it was a language school.
Number 16, what was your favorite company to work for?
The most favorite company that I worked for, it's my company now. It's not company. I work for myself, and I like it very much.
Number 17, what types of companies go on strike most often?
So some factories, these are company where people go on a strike most often.
Number 18. Why do you think it is difficult to run a company?
It's difficult to run a company because you have a lot of responsibilities and you are responsible for you have a responsibility of a lot of people and a lot of things.
Number 19. What is the best way to handle a rude customer?
The best way to handle a rude customer is to speak to him in a very calm way and try to explain everything to him, to her maybe.
Number 20. What is the best way to deal with incompetent workers?
The best way to deal with incompetent workers is, first of all, you can send them to some on-job training, or you may fire them.
Number 21. When do you try to schedule free time?
I try to schedule free time in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, and at the weekend.
Number 22. How often do you take a day off?
I don't usually take a day off. I don't need it.
Number 23. What is your favorite time to have a day off?
My favorite time to have a day off is in spring.
Number 24. Why do employees get sick leave?
Some employees get sick leave because they have health issues and they need to have some rest at home.
Number 25. Why do you think it is important to be on paternity leave?
Isn't important to be on a paternity leave? I don't think so. It's important to be on a maternity leave, but if your wife works, you may have a paternity leave, of course.
Number 26. Do you prefer to work the day or night shift?
I prefer to work the day shift.
Number 27. How many times have you worked overtime in the last month?
So I usually work on Monday, on Wednesday, overtime.
Number 28. What are some reasons workers get fired?
So the main reasons workers get fired if they are not incompetent workers, and if they do something not on time. Maybe the company just want to downsize to save the extra money.
Number 29. What are some reasons to be dismissed from a job?
You may be dismissed from a job if you are a lazy worker and incompetent, and you have the low level of your education.
Number 30. Do you know someone who's been laid off?
Yes, once my husband was laid off, and some of my friends were laid off.
Number 31. What is the reason for ousting someone from a company?
So there are some cases where when the director can oust you from a company. It's because he wants to oust you in favor of his or her relatives or some better worker.
Number 32. What is the purpose of a pink slip?
So the purpose of a pink slip is to um, uh, to find a new candidate for the job.
Number 33. Why is it considerate to give a 2 weeks notice instead of quitting on the spot?
It's considerate to give a 2 weeks notice instead of quitting on the spot, because the company should find a candidate for the job, and so a person who can replace the person who are going to quit.
Number 34. What is the proper way to resign?
So the proper way to resign is to give a 2 weeks notice.
Number 35. Why do you think executives get a golden parachute?
The executives get a golden parachute because they have a lot of responsibilities, and they can negotiate about it with your employer.
Number 36. What is the benefit to getting a severance package?
So benefit to getting a severance package is that you may have a lot of money after you are fired.
Number 37. When was the last time you quit a job?
I quit the job 3 years ago.
Number 38. How many years does it take to retire in your field?
I should be there is no age limit to retire in my field, I think, but my father retirement age was 55.
Number 39. At what age do most people stop working?
Most people stop working at about 60 or 65, or some people can stop working at the age of 50.